One.
Oh, Stacy's mom.
Oh, there she goes.
There she goes. There she goes again. Hello, Louie. How are we doing today?
Josh, I am doing quite all right. I am feeling really good and jazzed up. We had uh, we had a fun-filled week, and we got more exciting things to come. Um, it's a good time. It's a good time. It's a scary time. It is the best of times and the worst of times.
For everybody and anybody. Right now, especially for fantasy football, we've hit week 10 now. We're in the double digits. We,
10.
we are that much closer to the playoffs. Yeah, I was talking to Lijak earlier. He thought he had a little bit more time. We start playoffs in just 5 weeks.
It is. We are. We are on playoffs bosom as we speak. We are.
Yes.
we are. We are right around the corner. We are turning second, heading into third.
Yeah, we're going to third base right now
Yeah.
on fantasy football. Um, and as a man of my word, it was a bittersweet moment when I realized that I not only beat the 35 point spread that I made with you, but then ended up
I thought
winning.
we even
So
made it 30. I thought it was even
uh,
30.
no, it was like 34 and a half, which um, you know,
Josh,
Eric, this is for you. I don't know, man. I got nothing. Like I won, but
satisfaction.
in a way, I also lose. So does my other opening. It also loses. So while I consume this, Louis, you want to give us a weekly recap there, buddy?
Yeah, we'll jump right into it. I just want to watch this and see it happen.
I'm not. I
As
don't
good
think I'm gonna be doing another habanero bet with you anymore.
is it? Is it as good as the first time?
Hmm. I'm gonna just down this really quick, and
There you go. There you go.
oh, it burns. I gotta swallow.
You can do it, buddy. Don't cough. All right, I'm going to get right into it. Starting off, no surprise here. We had Circuit de Browns taking down Tink for Tua. It was the highest scoring matchup that we had this week, but the Browns showed off, posting up 165 and a half to Tink for Tua's 139.2. Galladay Inn, newly named Galladay Inn's taking down the Prescott Sterlings 116 to 99. Um, Team Woodsy, as we mentioned already, putting up 135 to Too Many Cooks 90. Gosh, that was I was out disc golfing that day, but then when I checked, around 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, it
What?
took me by surprise too.
Then we had Nucktowns in the closest matchup, winning 98.44 to over Silver Sterling 94.86. Could have gone either way there. And then my matchup, Carry On My Wayward Son, posting up 132.4, finally scoring over 100 points. And since like 3 weeks ago, it's been a rough go. Taking down Gordo, they put up 105.54. And we had some movement on the leaderboard. We have a new person in first place. And congratulations, Circuit de Browns. Your team's on a tear, and it's going to look that way nearly for the rest of the season. It's, I mean, we are right there. So, I mean,
Well, I mean, we'll
7.
get into it in a little
Yeah.
bit here because
Mm-hmm.
we actually this is our third quarter pounder episode. So we'll give you the tri quarter pounder. I don't know. whatever the case, we'll be giving you our take.
Are you feeling all right, Josh? You look a little sad, man.
I think I may have touched my eye.
I was wondering. It looked like you didn't just put the whole thing in your mouth, but you were touching the wet ends of the pepper. Interesting strategy. Interesting strategy.
Just what a terrible strategy. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of that strategy.
Might I add, I do like the new look. I like the clean shaven. Well done.
Thank you. It's a nice to see my chin again.
Chin again.
Chin again. Well, guys, before we get into our quarter pounder, we have a special guest joining us again today for a reoccurring segment, second time this season. Because a lot of interesting stuff has just gone down before the end of the trade deadline. Hello, sir. How are you today?
Yeah. Hey there. How you doing?
Oh, hey there.
I see you've got one of those muskrats on top of your head there.
Yeah, caught it and skinned it myself.
Nice. I found one like that the other day down by the side of the road. Had tire tracks, so it was a clean kill.
Clean and fresh, eh?
Oh yeah.
And free.
So,
oh my god.
So it's exciting. We got another round of transaction talks.
Please, sir. Take it away. I just ate another pepper here, so I'm not talking much.
Oh, Josh.
Stop this.
Yeah.
And at least right now, your team is as hot as your mouth. So that's the one that's helping you out.
This is also
couple of those big wins there. So I want to take it back and talk about a couple of those early bird trades with Jeffrey and Carson swapping out for the Galladay. Just an update on that one. Gotten a couple wins and has gotten some naming rights. Galladay in. He dropped the other player in that trade there, but so far Galladay has got 125.5 points for the Heisman. Jeffrey and Carson have gotten 204.6. Now, a couple of those weeks might have helped out. Heiser keeping his number one spot. I see he's dropping down a little bit, but we got a couple other moves that he's been making that might help salvage the year from quite the power start that he had going. With the White and Lockett trade, not gonna lie, there were a couple weeks where I was real salty with this one, seeing how Lockett was scoring more than 10 points. But I started to appreciate White's consistency. It was a thing to admire. And last week, both White and Lockett had their biggest weeks of the season. White finally broke his streak with 15 points. Man, unexpected. He almost doubled his average, which is, I don't know what they're doing over there in New England, but they're changing things up.
Yeah, they are.
Lockett had a solid 37 points. 37.
Wow.
But
yes.
I don't feel so bad because neither of us got a win out of those players hitting their all-time high for this season. So, you know what? We'll just call that trade a wash, right? Great trade.
Sounds like a wash to me.
We've had a couple trades that have fallen apart since they had happened. With Mattinson and the Brown trade, if anyone wants, Brown, that's Malcolm Brown, is a free agent. He's free for pickup if you want. Maybe you can trade him for Madison. He might be on the same par level. And the Marquise Brown and Chris Thompson. If anyone wants some Thompsons, up for grabs. That was another trade that ended with a bust. It's almost like a couple of these trades that I had seen were more of just like, well, I'm going to drop this player anyways. Maybe I can trade for another player that someone else wants to drop.
There you go.
Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind as we're in the closing days here for the trade deadline.
Yep, 3 more days.
Yeah. So we had a new trade with the Silver Sterling and Galladay in, Mixon for Olsen. Just a quick stat update. Since that trade has gone down, Mixon has scored a whooping 22.6 points. Olsen with only 7.8. A lot of people hear me complain about tight end woes. I hate them. If anything, we should just
what?
We should indeed just.
We should just
Oh,
what?
oh no!
Jack.
Oh no! Oh no!
Look at that face.
Transactions. That's the face. That's the face of tight end woes. I'll tell you what. This is unfortunate.
Jack, if you can hear us, man, just hang up, dude. Hang up.
Yeah. I don't know if I can boot a call either. I don't know.
Oh, here.
Oh, there it is.
I just removed him. I have power.
He was stuck on those tight end woes. I'll tell you what, it's very unfortunate.
If we can get him back.
If we can get him back, we could try. Looks like that's Scott is original. Hello, sir.
She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be riding 6-watt horses. She'll be riding 6-watt horses. She'll be riding 6-watt horses when she comes.
Oh,
she's riding those 6 horses while she comes.
Oh, she comes.
She's riding those 6-watt horses as she comes. Ooh,
there she comes.
She's riding 6-watt horses. She's riding 6-watt horses. She's riding 6-watt dicks while she dick horses. All right, Lyjack. I can't fill up more dead air.
We appreciate you, sir. I don't know if you're connected or not connected to a Wi-Fi. It was a great first bit of recap there, but I think we're gonna have to call it.
I'm gonna have to remove you again. Bye.
Well, that was pretty enlightening. How the first
pretty enlightening and light.
And very light. I know we didn't get into some of the more recent trades as the trade deadline has been coming to a close. A couple of more trades have gone down this week. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I think one of them was Cooper Kupp for DK Metcalf and Kareem Hunt. Very interesting trade there. Very interesting trade. Kareem Hunt is definitely a question mark. We'll see how that one turns out. We already know how Cooper Kupp is been doing, and DK Metcalf, he's been an explosive character. Oh, hello.
Somebody has joined again. Trying to join.
Bueller. Well, that's it. Lyjack. Sorry, buddy. I guess it's not working out. It was not meant to be for tonight. Louis, would you do the honor, sir? I just got a message from Lyjack. He says, I take back everything I said about tight ends. Maybe the fantasy guys were just not happy with that comment. To continue on here, the other trade that ended up going down, was it Melvin Gordon? And
Melvin
somebody
Gordon?
else. Melvin Gordon was traded.
Hold on, I have the technology. I've had that this whole time.
DJ Moore and Melvin Gordon for Tyler Lockett off the top of my head. That was with Gordo and
Melvin Gordon, DJ Moore for Tyler Lockett and Marlon Mack.
Marlon Mack, that is correct. It was a 2 for 2. We'll see how that helps out Gordo. We'll see how that helps out Tank for Tua. Some pretty strong players have been moved. This has shaken up a little bit of the league here. And we'll go into a little bit more detail about how it's shaken things up as we get into our quarter pounder segment here. It's kind of interesting. I still have my recent quarter pounder or the half pounder episode standings, and I've compared them with the new quarter pounder standings with only 4 weeks left in the regular season. It's interesting to see the power shift that has happened. For the half pounder, I actually have one team and only one team getting 10 wins, and that was Too Many Cooks. Boy, how times have changed, the weeks have changed, the teams have changed. I now have two teams finishing this season with 10 wins. Coming out on top, I have Cirque de Brown, 10 wins, 3 losses. The recent trade with Cooper Kupp makes his team very explosive.
Yep.
You've got to deal with Mike Evans, you got to deal with Cooper Kupp, and you got to deal with Christian McCaffrey on any given week. Very scary. It's going to help him out immensely. Coming in second place at the end of the season, I have Galladay in. The recent trade with Nick Chubb helps out the running back situation. As Lyjack was describing, Galladay has done very well for himself this season. Lamar Jackson, very nice quarterback, great late draft pickup. It's going to help him out very much so. Coming in third at the end of the season, I'm giving myself a little bit of a pat on the back.
Number
giving
3.
myself, Team Woodsy. I am giving myself 3 more wins out of 4, and it's only because bye weeks might help me in my favor. Then again, what do I know about my team? I thought I was going to lose by 35 last week, and I ate a pepper. So, no, coming in fourth, we have Too Many Cooks. Too Many Cooks. You don't have a cook on your team anymore. You only have one cook. Just thought I'd throw that out there. So I don't know if one is too many, but I have you finishing at fourth with 7-6 as a record. Here are my wayward son coming in at fifth, 7-6.
Oh, thank you.
And then to make the cutoff, the very last person to make the playoffs at the end of the regular season, I have Nooktown. Nooktown's going to do it. He's going to come in with 6 wins. I have him as the only team with a 6-7 record, and he's going to outdo the other 4. The other 4 being Team Gordo at number 7, Prescott Sterling at number 8, Tank for Tua making one step forward to number 9, and Silver Sterling coming in at number 10. Now, if we do a little bit of math here, being the only team at 6 wins, that means everybody else has less than 6. Gordo, you are currently sitting at 5-4. Yes, I have you not winning a single game for the rest of the season. And this goes back to my half pounder episode where I had you at number 9 in my half pounder episode just 3 weeks ago with only 5 wins. So I was onto something. Can you prove me wrong? We'll see. And same for Silver Sterling. I also do not have Silver Sterling winning another game the rest of the regular season. I also had them in my half pounder episode, coming in at 10th with only 4 wins. So I think I might be onto something. You guys are, please prove me wrong. Shake things up. This league is definitely getting interesting. But that's my third quarter pounder predictions here. What do you got?
All right. So just real briefly, as you were writing, I was making notes on where I had people as well. The first 2, we both had exactly the same. Chet finishing with 10 wins. Then we had Galladay in coming in with 9. We flip-flopped. We flip-flopped on almost me and you. I actually had myself finishing with 8 wins, so I was going to take the 3rd spot.
Okay.
Then I gave the 5 spot to Matt. I have him finishing with 7 wins. I have you finishing with 7 wins, taking that final spot. Oh, I skipped Eric. I had him, so it went
Eric
Browns,
number 4.
Galladay in, carry on, and then I had Eric, or Too Many Cooks rather, coming in at 4th, Matt at 5th, and Team Woodsy at 6th. 7 was the cutoff for mine. I am not doing this with any bias. I am just looking simply at the matchups, and we are just giving a tick next to who we think is going to win. I don't even really take much time. I go, yeah, this one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one. So the research is not really put into this. So take this obviously with a grain of salt. Things have changed drastically since the last one, even more so since the first one. So things can happen. So just round out the 6th spot. First 7 spot. Sorry, Ranicky. I have you finishing with 7 wins. I'm sorry, finishing with 5 wins, coming in the 7th spot. Then I have Nucktown. And Nucktown is one of 2 teams I have not winning out the rest of the year. I was surprised when I looked down and was placing that I did not give you a tick. I do apologize. Coming in 9th, I have Sterling Silver. Coming in also with 4 wins, also not winning. Do we have that the same then?
I also have him not winning another game. At 4 and 9. Yeah, that was correct.
Okay. And then Dale, I have you finishing with 4 wins, so you get 2 more wins.
There you go.
Out of the last 4 weeks. So you need to win out and hope other people fall if you want to make it. So
I also have Tank Pertua getting 4 wins. I just have them coming in front of Silver Sterling's points wise because, like you said, there's no real research into this. I just say because. So,
it's just a because.
It's just a because.
And obviously, I think both of us are going to give ourselves the benefit of the doubt.
For the most part, I suppose. I mean, I've also been surprised with my team. I think the first quarter pounder episode, I had myself. I had myself tanking. I had myself dead last at the first episode of.
I think I only had you with like 2 wins when we first did it. I don't have those papers any longer. I think I threw them out, but
I've put all these aside. I think I've had myself with a total of 3 wins at the 4th week of the season. I've surprised myself to this point. So
did you start 0-3? Was that an 0-3 start?
0-3 start.
Yeah.
So I mean, anything can happen here, guys. I'm loving the shakeup of the league. I think I'd like to give a little credit to Fab here. There's a couple of purchases that have really shaken this league up that may have not happened if we did the regular waiver wire pickups. I think. I for one probably would not have had Russell fall to me, and we know what kind of an impact he's made this season.
Certainly.
A couple of other good shout outs there. New England's defense. I mean,
always.
Who knows where they would have fallen if they didn't get bought out for, what was it, $11? Great purchase. Darren Waller, another great purchase there. So I like the way this league is shaken up. And guys, we're in the final stretch here. So best of luck to everyone. With that being said, I will give a really, really quick recap of the pick'ems. Louis, we differed on 1 game last week. You ended up winning that game. So now we are tied with our pick'ems. We are now at 28 out of 45. 28 games correct out of 45. Potential games that we could have gotten correct there. I'm going to, just extend this to everybody listening, the rest of the league here. We thought it'd be kind of fun. Elijah kind of brought this up. It'd be kind of fun to just have like a little bit of like a punishment, I guess. Not that's really harsh because pick'ems don't really matter.
Yeah,
No,
we're somewhere in between a habanero and a sacco
not
punishment. So
yeah, not
nothing
a
on either
half.
side. It has to be somewhere in there, and we'll pick. I don't know that we'll create a poll or anything, but we'll pick. So just comment your ideas or send it in the league chat.
Yeah, it'd
And
be kind of interesting. I mean, right now we're neck and neck in the pick'ems. It'd be kind of fun just to have like a small little thing
yeah.
for whoever wins the pick'ems. Let us know. If not, totally cool. This has just been a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, I guess we could get started on week 10. Week 10, such a
10, 10, 10. Who would have thought that this would be our 10th episode? I feel like this is only like our third, like we're only doing our third episode because I still have no idea what I'm doing.
I think
It's just
last
gone by
episode,
so fast. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. We definitely had no idea what we were doing last week. That was so much fun. It was really smooth.
That was our smooth week.
Smooth week. I mean, we're just having this is a great time. I'm definitely enjoying this more so than typing everything up. So, but you're right. This has been going really fast, really fast, and man, we're almost at the playoffs. Great stuff. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off here. The first matchup, I took care of a couple of Scots here. Bottom of the barrel, quite literally, not the actual team name, but we're working with number 9 and number 10 Scots. We got Tank for Tua versus Prescott Sterlings. I'm going to go through the quarterback matchup here. For Prescott Sterlings, we got Dak Prescott. He's going up against Minnesota. Minnesota's top 11 when it comes to stopping the quarterback. You know, they've had a decent defense the majority of the season. They've allowed a number of quarterbacks to get by them. One of them being like Case Keenum on a Thursday night. However, Case Keenum cannot finish that game. He ended up going out with a concussion. So they got to go ahead and boost their stats back again with Hoskins. But, you know, they're beatable. And Dak Prescott, he's been explosive for fantasy purposes this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a couple of games where it's been a rocky situation, but he's been great overall. He's had 15 passing touchdowns. He's gotten 3 rushing touchdowns himself. He has thrown 8 interceptions. He's had 10 sacks on him. But, you know, woes aside, he is the quarterback 4 on the year. He's having a great season. It was a great pickup after week 1. Like I said, fab dollars, $15 spent. I mean, this helped out Prescott Sterling on more occasion than we could have possibly thought. So, great pickup there. Great matchup. On the other side of the ball here, we have Tom Brady. I know he's quarterback 8 this year. He's been doing all right. Top 10 quarterback. I don't think he's going to be able to help out while he's on his bye week, though. So
I was like, Josh, before you continue, you know he's not playing, right? I was like, I'm looking at no game here. I'm looking at no game. Josh, it's no game.
I'm glad you let me finish that out because I was kind of good. Yeah, Tank for Tua. I think you got a lot going on. I think from the message you put out for the league, it looks like you're ready for a couple more trades before you're ready to commit to a quarterback this week. I have no doubt there's a couple of good ones out there for you. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Dak Prescott, as of right now, is the quarterback I'm giving the advantage to. Going over, a pepper, part of the pepper. Okay. Wide receivers, Tank for Tua, kind of just switched out a lot of their wide receivers. So this week they're dealing with DK Metcalf and DJ Moore. DK Metcalf, he's been a great safety net for Russell Wilson. He's averaged a touchdown. He's averaged a touchdown every 5 receptions. Pretty interesting stat there. So he's been great. He's been great at the deep ball. He's been a very good safety net. He's a tall dude. He's definitely the number 2 on the team, wide receiver, for now. We know Josh Gordon just got picked up. Russell Wilson was apparently asking to pick up Antonio Brown, but then Josh Gordon fell to them, and so it sounded like Russell Wilson was ready to pick up another wide receiver. He's ready to just throw the ball more, I guess. I don't know. It's going to be a tough matchup against San Francisco. They are still a really tough defense. They're top 5 against the wide receivers. They're top 3 against running backs. They're top 2 against quarterbacks. I know that Arizona happened to have a decent game against them last week, but a lot of that was kind of because of an 88-yard bomb. Otherwise, they only had 200 yards on the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really count that. DK Metcalf, you're going to have a tough time. I'm even so nervous that I might be.
Do you need a drink, man?
I might. Hold on. So I'm so nervous about this matchup that I'm thinking about sitting Russell Wilson this week. I know. I've gotten criticism. So next wide receiver there, DJ Moore. He's going up against Green Bay. It's easier to run against Green Bay than it is to throw. They are top 10 against the wide receiver position. DJ Moore, he seems to be the number 1 wide receiver in Carolina as of right now. He's dealing with Kyle Allen. He's got 68 targets this season. But anybody out in Carolina, you're going to be a second thought to Christian McCaffrey. So he's DJ Moore's only had 100-yard game. He's wide receiver 26 on the season. DK Metcalf number 18. It's it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for these wide receivers. But you compare him to Prescott Sterling. You got Michael Gallup versus Minnesota. Minnesota's a little bit easier to throw against. Michael Gallup's been a solid number 2, wide receiver 2 for Dallas. He's only had 1 game where he's actually been active, under 6 targets. He's had 2 games of 110 yards or more receiving. He's had 2 touchdowns on the year. He's wide receiver 39. So it's a decent start. Then you're going to pair him with Adam Thielen, who is going up against Dallas. Well, he's actually going up against his own injury because he's already been ruled out. So we'll see who else Prescott Sterling decides to throw in there. We got Jarvis Landry, Danny Amendola, MVS. These are tough choices. Jarvis just scored his first touchdown on the season. Amendola, he only had 3 of 5 passes caught last week, and MVS was held to 0 catches because of how bad Green Bay did. So we'll see what you got to do there. I'm giving the advantage Tank for Tua. Running backs for Tank for Tua, we got Josh Jacobs. He's going against the Chargers. They are bottom 10 against the running back position, so it's pretty much easier to run against them. Josh Jacobs, he likes to run. He's getting 92.5 rushing yards a game. He's got 6 touchdowns this season. The weird part is these touchdowns, they come in twos, and they come every 4 weeks. He scored 2 touchdowns week 1. He scored 2 touchdowns week 5. He scored 2 touchdowns week 9. Interesting. But he's getting the yards in between. He's a running back number 10 on the season, top 10 running back. Yes, the Chargers just stopped Aaron Jones and only held him to 30 rush yards, but I think they're going to have their hands full with Josh Jacobs. Saquon Barkley, also a running back for Tank for Tua, is going against the New York Jets. They're easily run. There's something going on with the Jets. They're falling apart. I know Barkley just had a pretty terrible game. He had 95 total yards last game, and 1 play went for 65 yards. So like the majority of the rest of the game, he only had 30 yards total. But the Jets are struggling. There's no Evan Ingram this week, as we'll get to. Saquon Barkley, even though he's been out for a good portion of the season, he's still running back 17. So it's just wow. Love it. Coming up for Prescott Sterling's, we got Derrick Henry versus Kansas City. They are bottom 3 against the running back. Derrick Henry only had 2 touches in the first half of the game last week, but then he finished with 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sure, Derrick Henry, whatever, man. You're defying everything I ever thought about you. You're averaging 71.6 yards rushing
You're
a game.
going to draft him next year.
Hey, maybe. Like,
and you're going to be disappointed.
Oh, yeah. I can already tell it's going to happen. Like, he's running back 8 on the season so far. He's doing great. You pair that with Zeke. Zeke is going up against Minnesota. They are top 4 against the running back position. But at this point, Zeke is matchup proof. He hasn't had less than 12.8 fantasy points a game. He's averaging 22 rushes a game, and 3.5 targets. He's running back 7 on the season. Yes, the other 2 have really good matchups, but I like these matchups more. I'm giving the running back advantage to Prescott Sterling. Tight end position, Jason Witten for Tua going up against Minnesota. Minnesota, the tight end position is wide open for everybody and anybody. The only problem is Jason Witten. He's only got 32 receptions this season out of 9 games. He's not looked to as much, more so just a safety net. He hasn't had a touchdown since week 2. He's only had 2 touchdowns all season. So week 1 and week 2 are the only weeks he scored. He's averaging just about 40 yards a game. He is no match for Darren Waller. Darren Waller has been incredible this season. He is the tight end 2, as opposed to Jason Witten, tight end 10. Witten's a top 10 tight end. Really nice job. But Waller, he was, until last week, getting 30% of the target share. He's still a strong tight end. He's going against the Chargers. They're listed as a top 11 against the tight end position, but they've gone up against tight ends like Ebron Hockerson when he went down, Fells, Gesicki, Font, McDonald, Jonnu Smith, Trey Burton. Like, these are all outside the top 10. This is going to be a really good test for the Chargers defense. I expect great things from Darren Waller. Advantage, Prescott Sterling. And then we're going to the flex position. Mark Ingram versus Cincinnati. Devin Singletary versus Cleveland. Cincinnati is bottom 2. Cleveland is bottom 10 against the run. Devin Singletary just had himself a great game. He got 20 rushes. He had a touchdown, 140 total yards last week. I mean, sit down, Frank Gore. It's just finally sit down, dude. Just stop. Just stop. Devin Singletary, he's been out for the majority of the season. He had an injury that occurred at the beginning of week 2. He is running back 42 this year, but he's still ahead of running backs who have had touchdown advantages, who have come back even sooner than him. He's ahead of Melvin Gordon. He's ahead of Cohen. Rex Burkhead, who is a great touchdown-dependent running back, he's still ahead of him. But Mark Ingram gets the advantage. Cincinnati, you can do whatever you want against Cincinnati. He just ran for 115 yards against New England. This is the most efficient running back we've seen in the game this season, even though he has only one game with 16 or more rushes. It's because he capitalizes. He has 7 touchdowns on the season. He's had multiple 100-yard rushing games. I'm given the flex position to take for Tua, but I'm actually giving the entire advantage of this game to Prescott Sterling. I'm going for a bold prediction here. Michael Gallup, he's going to have himself a great game. Everybody's going to be worried about Cooper. Yeah. Everybody's going to be worried about Cooper. Michael Gallup is going to have himself a great game, 120 yards and a touchdown. And then tank for Tua. I guess, I don't know what you're expecting here if you're going to get a tight end in before the trade deadline, but right now, Jason Witten, I'm expecting him to get 2 touchdowns, only on 30 yards though. So that's my prediction here, my bold predictions, and Scott Sterling will take this victory. That's what I've got.
All right, I'll take it from here. We got Circuit de Browns pairing up against
quick
Team
question.
Woodsy.
Question here.
Quarter. Huh?
Who do you have in the previous game?
Oh, same.
Same? Okay. Sweet deal. Go ahead, buddy.
Thank you. All right. So quarterback position, we got Jameson Winston. Looking like he knows how to play football again. He has 2 great, outstanding receivers in Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Winston himself is the quarterback 12 on the year. But he has put up some consistent numbers. I believe the last 2 weeks he's been over 300 yards. Phenomenal. Touchdowns to follow to 2 of the best wide receivers in the game, respectively Mike Evans, wide receiver number 1, who we'll get to, and Chris Godwin, wide receiver number 3. For Team Woodsy, you're throwing out Phillip Rivers this week. For now. They got Oakland. It's a plus matchup, so I see why. He's the quarterback 15 on the year. Rivers has not really been relevant in our league this year. He's been kind of on and off teams, just sort of plugging in on bye weeks. Should be interesting. They're playing Oakland, so they could put up a lot of points. So he's got some appeal. I'm going to give the advantage to Winston, though, just for the reasons I said with the 2 receivers.
Yep.
Segue to those, we got Mike Evans for the Browns. They're going up against Arizona. Arizona's middle of the pack against the wide receiver position. I don't think it's going to matter much. I think Evans is going to have a really good game. Not to mention the newly acquired Cooper Kupp at Pittsburgh. Cooper Kupp is the wide receiver number 5 on the year. Pittsburgh, as a defense, has been really showing up lately. I think they're top 3 defense now. Doing really good. However, Kupp is Kupp. He is the holy grail right now.
Yeah.
And he's doing just fine. You're throwing out Jamison Crowder. I like Crowder. He has had at least 5 targets in all but 1 week. I would just like to mention the first week, 17 targets. That is outrageous. That'll never happen again. But they get the Giants. They're 3rd worst against the wide receiver position. It's going to be a showdown in New York for sure.
Yeah.
So I know the Jets get a new weapon back in their tight end with Herndon. But we'll see. We'll see. I think Crowder could be just fine. He's going to get 5 targets. He's got to get a touchdown, though, for there to be any success here. I'm going to give the advantage to Mike Evans and Cooper Kupp, as I should. Wide receiver 1 and 5 is just scary.
Yeah.
Running back position, CMC. Running back 1. Green Bay, good matchup. That's all I'll say. Tevin Coleman at home against Seattle. This is a tough matchup against running back. Seattle's been pretty good, actually, against the run. They are 21st or of 8th, 9th, 11th best. 11th best.
11th best. There you go, Matt.
I hate how they do this. I hate how they do that. Tevin Coleman's running back 28. He did miss some time this year. He's been looking really good. That San Francisco team now with Manny Sanders has just been phenomenal. And I could see they're the only undefeated team left, I believe, and I could see them 9-0 at the end of the week. And then we got some. We have one definite start that I like seeing you play this week, and that's David Montgomery. That home against Detroit, he's running back 19 on the year. Last 2 weeks, he's put up plus 20 points. So I'm really happy to see you start him. Jalen Samuels is in your starting lineup as of current with James Conner sort of up in the air. It looks like everyone's saying even if he does play, Jalen Samuels' work in the passing game is where it's at. He's running back number 53 on the year. Hasn't had as many chances, but certainly a commendable player. That'll be interesting because I know you got Freeman on the bench as well. I think you got another option, possibly.
Ronald Jones.
Oh, you picked up Ronald Jones. Oh, I see that now. Yeah. So you got some things to work out. We'll see how it goes. You need a kicker.
Yeah.
You're gonna need a kicker.
Yeah. Yes, I will.
Yeah. So that'll be a fun pickup for whoever you drop.
Indeed.
Advantage here again. I'm so sorry. I have to give this to Circuit de Browns.
No, you give the advantage to CMC and only CMC.
Oh yes. Did I not say that? Is that not what I said?
Oh my god.
Tight ends. We'll start with you. You got Travis Kelce, the ever reliable tight end number 3 on the year. At Tennessee, Travis Kelce is Travis Kelce. He will get you the 12 points. He could go off, but he has really been performing at his what I feel like is just his floor all year. We really have yet to see him really blow off one. So Travis Kelce is going to get the advantage before I even mention the other guy. I don't even know his first name. I probably can't even say his last name right. Mike Gesicki is what we're going to say. On the Dolphins, I haven't seen many Dolphins starters in our league this year. They are in Indianapolis. He's the tight end number 30 on the year, but he's come on as of late. He had a really good game last week. He had targets. I think he had a touchdown. Should be interesting. Indianapolis is not so good against the tight end. So I do see the appeal. However, like I said, advantage Travis Kelce. Flex position, we got Golden Tate. In this New York matchup, he's the wide receiver 63 on the year, but he has looked spectacular. He had an OBJ-like catch last week, and he's Danny Dimes' favorite target right now. With Evan Ingram out, huge boost to Golden Tate. I love him this week. And then we got John Brown, the ever exciting John Brown. He's almost like the James White of running backs, He gets you 9 points.
Yeah, and
gets you 9 points.
Yeah.
And they're at Cleveland, so yeah.
Enough said.
Wide receiver 21, though, I will give him. He has the big playability. At any moment in time, he could have a 10-point touchdown, a fantasy 10-point touchdown.
Still got the speed.
So he's something to watch. He gets into some open space, blown coverage, bada bing, bada boom.
Yep.
You're looking there, but I like Golden Tate, like I said. So flex also Browns. No surprise. I'm giving the Browns the victory. I do apologize. I did underestimate your team last week against Eric, but you also way underestimated your team. So things can go any way, as we've seen. Stars can have off games, and so we'll see. I got my bold predictions here. I have Evans and Godwin finishing with the same exact score this week at 21.2. I just couldn't give anyone an advantage over. I know Mike Evans is on the season the better one, but Chris Godwin has been just there, so we'll give him the same, and that'll be interesting to watch. David Montgomery will have 150 yards, all-purpose yards, and 2 touchdowns. I don't think he's gone over 150 yet. I think the most he's seen is like 137 rushing. Anyway, I didn't look at his passing or receiving stats that game, but I do think that you will, regardless of what you do, I do think that you leave 60 points on the bench. And that's because you're the only team this week that like doesn't have a person on bye.
I know. It's a weird feeling. I only have one questionable player too. It's kind of weird. This is like a really weird feeling.
So,
Okay.
Regardless of what you do, there's going to be 60 points on the bench, and there's no way that you can escape it. I mean, you got 6 people on the bench right now.
Have to drop one eventually, and yeah.
So,
well, I also have Cirque de Browns winning. I'm not going to make a bet on this. I know he's got the
over under 15.
No, done. No,
2.
Still burning. Still burning on the inside right now. I know he's got the number 1 running back and the number 1 wide receiver on the season, the number 5 wide receiver on the season. Doesn't matter. I am not gonna make a bet. But I do agree he's gonna win. And it probably will be by 20 points, maybe more. But who knows? We never know. We have a really good feeling, but we don't actually know. So I like the call there. We're now 2 for 2 on the pick'ems. Love it. We're going into the next game, which is going to be Carry on My Wayward Son versus Nucktown. And good old Nucktown has to sit on the bench this week because of the bye week. We got a lot of buys this week. Houston is one of them. So with that, also Watson has to sit, and Kyler Murray is going to step in. It's a good plug-in. Kyler Murray has been kind of up and down. He's facing Tampa Bay. They are bottom 5 against the quarterback position. They are still top 3 when it comes to the run. So whether it's David Johnson, whether it's Kenyon Drake, it might be tough. It might be really tough. Even Kyler Murray himself. It could be hard to run, so they are going to have to throw the ball a lot, which if he can reconnect with Larry Fitzgerald, if he can reconnect with Christian Kirk, and if David Johnson can get open, he might have a pretty good day. So it's a good plug-in, plug and play for Watson. However, Drew Brees is back, and we saw before his bye week, he is back with a vengeance, and he's going up against Atlanta. We're going to have a shootout as long as as long as we have Matt Ryan back as well. We're going to have a showdown of some very impressive veterans, quite possibly Hall of Famers, going at it this weekend. Drew Brees, his first outing back after the thumb, he had 373 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, he's ready. He's quarterback number 30 on the season after sitting out, but he's still ahead of people like Kyle Allen and Trubisky after sitting for that long. So
embarrassing.
It's such
it's sad.
but yeah, he came back. He's back with a vengeance. He's outplaying some starters that have been out there for the whole season. Like, he's doing great. So I'm giving the advantage to Drew Brees. So we'll go over to the wide receiver position. We've got Keenan Allen and Juju Smith-Schuster coming up for Nucktown. Keenan Allen's going against Oakland. They are second worst against wide receivers. It's easy to throw on them. That's the reason why I picked up Phillip Rivers, because maybe, just maybe, Keenan Allen
shows up.
Back. Yeah. I can understand his pain, Danny's pain here. His first 3 games, Keenan Allen was over 13.5 points, and now he can't even get over 9 points the rest of the season. The following 6 games, he's still getting a lot of targets. He's gotten 85 targets over the season. That's number 5 against all wide receivers. Like he's still getting the targets. He's going to continue to get targets this game. It's going to be great. He's wide receiver 13, despite having the rough season that he's had. So this is going to be a really good matchup for him here. I think he finds pay dirt again. I don't know if I can say the same about Juju Smith-Schuster. He's going up against the Rams. Rams are top 10 when it comes to the wide receiver position. Juju's been streaky. It's really hard to tell. I don't know. When it comes to yards,
I think he's due for a good week if we look at his patterns.
if we look at the last 5 games and his patterns, like you're saying, he had 15 yards receiving 5 weeks ago, then 75, then 7, then 103, and then 6. He needs help, man. He needs help from other players in this game. He needs James Conner back. He needs Deontay Johnson to help him out. He needs Mason Rudolph to
throw the ball.
Real. He's wide receiver 34 on the season. It's tough to watch a player with such talent struggle like this because of other players around him and just the situation. Then for you, we have Amari Cooper. He's going against Minnesota. They are bottom 12 against the pass. It's like I said, it's not impossible to go around Minnesota. It's just going to take some effort. Amari Cooper seemed like he was having a little trouble with injuries last game, but he finished the game out. He's got 6 touchdowns on the season. Just except for that one game where he went out early for the injury, he only ended up with 0.8 points that game. Other than that, all the other games that he's played, he's only had one game under 10 fantasy points. He produces, and it's great. It's great to see. He's wide receiver number 7 on the season. You pair him with Julio Jones going up against New Orleans. Like I said, if Matt Ryan's back, this could be a big shootout between 2 big gunslingers. Julio Jones, unlike a couple of the past years that you've had him, he's been very consistent. He hasn't had less than 7 targets a game, even with a backup quarterback. He's topped 100 yards 4 times this season, and another game was a 93-yard game, so he came really close. He's only had 4 touchdowns on the season, but he's producing through the air. He's wide receiver number 8. So as of right now, you got wide receiver 7 and 8. I'm giving you the advantage because of that and their matchups. Then we're coming to the running backs. Austin Eckler, he's going up against Oakland. They are 16th when it comes to the run. So it's middle of the pack, right smack dab in the middle. Austin Eckler, more of a wide receiver for the most part. He did have 16. Yeah, he had 16 touches last week. They got a new offensive coordinator. It was Green Bay. It's kind of easier to do things against Green Bay. He had 93 yards total. But Gordon seemed like he was heavily involved. So, if it's both of them, cool. That's good production for you. Right now, Austin Eckler is the running back 5 on the season. And you're pairing him with Todd Gurley, who's going up against Pittsburgh. They are top 6 when it comes to the running back position. Like you said, they have a really solid defense this year. Todd Gurley has been relatively streaky for fantasy purposes. He's kind of sneaks in a lot of 1-yard runs, which is where you need to, if you're going to have production, it's going to be in those 1-yard touchdown runs. Sure. He's only had 1 game over 16 rushes. He has only had 1 game over 70 total yards. This is tough. It's tough for you. I know you want to see more production out of Todd Gurley. We all do. It kind of sucks where he's been and where he's been with the knee. Then these two are facing off against Chris Carson. He's been one of the more productive running backs throughout the season. Gotten 4 games of 100-plus rush yards. He's going against San Francisco. Like I said, San Francisco is pretty good against the run. He's had 4 fumbles all season. His touchdown to fumble ratio is 1. So that's a little bit concerning. And he's fumbled twice the past couple of games. Or not the past couple. Last game, he fumbled twice. But he is running back 9 on the season. If this offense can do anything, maybe it'll involve Chris Carson. Who knows? I've already said San Francisco scares me. That's why I picked up Phillip Rivers just to see what's up. Then Matt Breida's coming in for the other running back. They're going up against the Seattle. There's a lot of players that you're investing here in the Seattle and San Francisco game here, Danny. Matt Breida, he outran Coleman with his 15 rushes last week. He had 92 yards to 36. He outproduced him, outgained him, whatever. There's just so much room to run out there. They loved using the running backs. So even if it's, even if Seattle seems like they are good numbers wise against the run, Matt Breida might be able to find a way to get it done. Either that or Tevin Coleman will find a way to get it done, and it's just going to be the other running back. This is tough. It's really tough. I might be giving the advantage here to Nucktown for the running backs. Just with the sheer volume and production between these two, I could see them doing quite a bit. So then we're going to go over to the tight end position. You picked up Chris Herndon, like you said. He's back. He's here for production. He's here
Tentatively back.
He's back from what we know of. We got he's going up against New York Giants. They're top 10 against the tight end position, but let's be honest, they're just really bad. We'll see what he can do. We saw what he could do in preseason, but I mean, since then, Sam Darnold has been seeing ghosts on and off, I guess. So, he's not ranked because he hasn't played yet. He's tight end something on the season, whatever you want to call it. The Jets are struggling. Who knows what's going to happen with Le'Veon Bell? They say he's fine. What if he's not fine? Maybe they'll have to throw more. Who knows? Unfortunately, I'm giving the advantage over here to George Kittle. Another investment in the San Francisco-Seattle game, but George Kittle is great. I know he's dealing with a little bit of a knee issue, but he played through it last week. He caught 6 catches for 79 yards and a touchdown. He's averaging 7 targets a game. He's the tight end 4 on the season. I'm giving the advantage to Kittle. So we'll move over to the flex position. You guys have wide receiver 19 and wide receiver 20 going against each other in the flex position. Emmanuel Sanders, he's finding a home. He's finding his connection with Garoppolo. Another investment in the San Fran-Seattle game. He's quickly becoming the wide receiver number 1 in that offense. He already has in the 2 games with them 127 yards and 2 touchdowns with the new squad. Things are looking really good. Although I think I'm going to give the advantage here to Allen Robinson. Yes, he didn't do much last week, but it seems like if there's one player that actually gets something done through the air with Trubisky, it's Allen Robinson. Detroit seems to be just as bad against the pass as Seattle, but maybe even a little bit worse. He was being fed healthy amount of targets, 7+ targets every week until last week. It seems like Detroit happens to have a lot of games here where they're neck and neck. It could happen again. You said David Montgomery might have himself a game. But if he doesn't, it's going to be going to Allen Robinson, and that's where I'm putting my money on right here, actually. So, overall, actually, let me give you some bold predictions here. I think Chris Herndon is going to go for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Ooh, okay. Welcome to the NFL.
Welcome to the NFL. I think, from what we saw in preseason, he was doing really well. He's not going to go over the century mark, but he's going to do just fine, and he's probably going to get a couple of touchdowns here. On the other side of the ball, Allen Robinson, he's going to do some crazy stuff and going to be a safety net again for Trubisky. He's going to go for 131 on 7 catches because why not?
Why not?
Overall, I think even though he has the advantage most way through the roster spots here, I gave him the advantage with running backs, the tight end, and the flex. I think Drew Brees is going to just muster out a crazy amount of points, and so will your wide receivers, more so than the rest of the squads. I'm giving you the overall win here.
Oh, shucks. I land the same way.
Excellent. Looks like we're 3 for 3 on that. Sweet deal.
All right, and I will take it from here again. We got too many Cooks versus Silver Sterling. We got a fun one here. Aaron Rodgers, quarterback number 6 on the year, pairing up against Patty Mahomes, quarterback number 7.
Oh, it's a State Farm matchup.
Yeah. Ooh, the State Farm matchup. How did we miss that? Aaron Rodgers at home against Carolina. Carolina has been pretty good against the quarterback. So we'll see. Aaron Rodgers didn't have the best of games last week. But outside of that, the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, he has looked really good. So I'm expecting him to be in form against Carolina. Yeah, it should be fun to watch, especially with Devontae Adams back. Patrick Mahomes is at Tennessee. And he's Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be a huge showdown. I'm really going to enjoy this matchup. I think I got to give the advantage to Patrick Mahomes just for namesake. We know what he can do. We've seen him do it. And I'm going to give the advantage to him. I think I'll get to my bold predictions later, but I think Patrick Mahomes will play really well.
Okay.
Wide receiver position, too many Cooks throwing out Stephon Diggs at Dallas, wide receiver number 12 on the year. They've got Devontae Adams, as I mentioned, at home against Carolina. He is wide receiver number 51, also missed a month or so, maybe 6 weeks, 5 weeks. But he is back. I'm sure he's ready to just go. I'm sure Rodgers is super excited to have. Although, wasn't Adams back last week?
He was back this past week. The offense as a whole was just really bad, but I think
he did have 11 targets. Just looking at that now.
That's what I remember hearing is that Adams had a crazy amount of targets for being back. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, if the target share continues like that, and another week under his belt of practice and getting better, I think he'll be spectacular. However, wide receivers on the other side are two of the fastest we've seen. Tyreek Hill, wide receiver number 33 on the year, but also missed time. Since being back, though, he's looked great. I don't know how he did last week. He did just fine last week. 27 points.
He's been great.
140 reception yards. Yep, nothing to worry about there. And then you got Michael Thomas, the wide receiver number 2 on the year, just being outbeaten by Mike Evans last week. And Atlanta. I'm going to give the advantage here, wide receiver to Silver Sterling. Really digging it. And I think.
With Pat Mahomes coming back too, like Tyreek Hill's going to be just fine. You got Drew Brees back, ready to throw to Michael Thomas.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be lopsided there. However, let's get to the running backs, or lack thereof. Still empty. I think it's a power move. I think we got a power move because he does have 2 serviceable running backs on his bench, and Latavius Murray and Joe Mixon. So I'll talk about them a little bit. I don't know that Silver Sterling has anything in the works or if they're just waiting. But Joe Mixon at home against Baltimore, he's the running back 36 on the year. Kind of a disappointing year for Joe Mixon. I think he was like a second or third round draft pick, and he really hasn't lived up. Last week, I mean, he had a decent game. The reception touchdown really helped him. He's going to need more involvement to be relevant. And then Latavius Murray, running back 22 on the year, but he had himself a game. He had himself two great games.
Without Kamara, he went off.
Yeah, I believe Kamara is back, if I'm not mistaken. But I think Latavius Murray, after showing what he can do, I think we could see an RBBC. I mean, only help, it's only going to help him. But I mean, if it's RBBC, we're going to see he might have a ceiling of like 12 points tops. I could see 8, 9 being a regular thing. It'll be touchdown dependent, of course. But he could have some appeal in this Atlanta matchup. So we'll certainly see there. On the other side, though, hands down, advantage is going to Dalvin Cook and Le'Veon Bell. Dalvin Cook at Dallas, running back number 2 on the year. He's looked great. Le'Veon Bell, running back number 17. Not sort of living up to the Le'Veon Bell that we've seen. However, still serviceable top 20. He gets targets. He's just got to see the end zone, and he'll boost his stats right up, certainly. So advantage Cooks. Tight end position, we got Hunter Hen. Actually, we have 2 tight ends in this game. Or 3 rather, but for the Cooks, they're throwing out 2 tight ends. Hunter Henry getting the tight end official spot, tight end number 9 on the year, up against Oakland in a plus matchup. He's been back for 3 weeks now, and he's looked great.
He's been like the guy right now. It's cool.
So I mean, it's good to see him back because he's been sort of just a shadow the last couple of years, and to finally put him see him putting some consistency together. Good for the Chargers and good for any Hunter Henry fan. On the other side, though, Eric Ebron, at home against Miami. He's been the tight end 16 on the year, but we've sort of seen him on the decline to Mr. Jack Doyle. I don't know where Jacoby Brissett is sitting as far as starting. I think he said he felt good. I don't know that he plays, so I can't give Eric Ebron any real help here. I think Jack Doyle might have more appeal. So advantage Hunter Henry. Flex position, we'll start with Mr. Mike Williams. A lot of guys in this San Diego-Oakland game.
Yeah.
Mike Williams, wide receiver 48. He is tall. He does get some end zone looks. It's been pretty consistent this year. Hasn't really exploded on anything yet. Last week he did have 111 receiving yards. Throwing a touchdown or so. I mean, he could have a good week. So, especially with Keenan Allen playing the way he has, Mike Williams is going to need the looks. I mean, with Keenan Allen's going to be covered, Mike Williams is the guy. Hunter Henry's the guy. So, I could see a big game for him. Other side, we got Mark Andrews. He's been the tight end number 7 on the year. He gets Cincinnati. Cincinnati has somehow been good against the tight end. But Mark Andrews has been really consistent, a really good safety net for Lamar Jackson. Need I say more? He's like I said, tight end 7. So really consistent. And is this his first year? He's a rookie, right? Second year?
No,
I thought it was his first year.
Don't know. It might be his second year. That's a good question.
Let us know in the comments below. So we'll go bold predictions here. I got Mahomes He's right now quarterback 7. I got him jumping up into the quarterback 4 spot.
Woo!
I looked at the point differentiation. He needs to score plus 20 points over Dak Prescott
Okay.
to take that. That's not undoable.
Right.
50-point game to Dak's 20, and he's boosting himself maybe in quarterback number 3. And then I got Adams, the Adams family. He is back. I got him going 175 yards, 2 scores.
2 scores.
And then I do have the Cooks winning. I like Silver's quarterback and wide receiver play, but team as a whole, too many Cooks takes it.
Okay, that's fair. I also give the advantage to the Cooks as well. I think just the fact that they have running backs.
Yes, as a
that helps them a little bit. They got 2.
I think Silver Sterling just really wanted to flex out his bench, and show what he's got down there.
Take a look at this bench, bro.
Yo, look at my bench.
Check out this bench. Love it. Yeah, I got too many Cooks winning as well. I think with that we have all the games so far.
How Josh Gordon can still stay in the IR spot, I don't know.
I mean, as of right now, it's kind of confusing. But okay.
He was cleared in a physical. He's got to be put on a roster. I would have imagined, but we'll see.
It's a very interesting. Okay, I can't pull it up right now, but if Josh Gordon was taken off the IR spot, would they have to drop a player? Silver Sterling?
They would.
Ooh, that's tough. Who do you drop at that point? Oh, wow.
Probably DJ Chark. Yeah, Chark.
You think Chark's gonna go?
I mean, he can get rid of Minshew. I mean, if you got Patty Mahomes.
Yeah. Not to mention that Nick Foles.
Jack, listen carefully.
Nick Foles is back too. Unless you really just love the stash, you want to keep the stash on the bench, then sure, dude.
He is a stash. The stash is a stash.
He is a stash, just in case. Stash the stash. You never know. But I also like in this game how we're going to see. I mean, it's kind of helpful that they have strong running backs against, as of right now, no running backs. But we will not see the New England defense out on the field this week.
So we'll really see what Too Many Cooks is made of. I mean, they picked a great defense, as they have done all year.
Very true.
Indianapolis against Miami. What's not to like about that? I'm sure he spent some fab to do that. So good on you. Good on you, kid.
Yep. I think there was a little bit of fab spent, or maybe not actually. I think I woke up this morning and saw that.
They set the 2:46 alarm clock.
They were ready. Yeah, I gotta pick up the defense. All right, I'm going back to bed now.
Got it. Okay.
I might try that out one day. Who knows? That might be.
It's not consistent. It doesn't go through the same time. It would be cool if we could set like everything goes to at 3 a.m. or because I think sometimes it's like 2:17 and it's like 2:36, 2:46, 2:57. Like it's whenever Yahoo gets up to it, I guess.
It's one.
I feel like there's one guy that just like is just like, all right, they all went through. Okay, I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, that's exactly what he does. Like, crap! I was eating my lunch at the time. I'm 2 minutes late. I'm gonna hit the button.
Like he's just eating. He looks over. Fuck.
That'd be great. Well, that sounds good. We got 4 games down, 4 games in the books. That just means one more thing, guys. One last thing. Game of the week. Hey. Yeah, this week We have the strangely still named Gordo, because Gordo is no longer on that bench or in that lineup whatsoever. And Galladay in, who's, both teams looks like they've gotten a little bit of a boost with some recent trades with one Scott and Dale. So let's see how this turns out. I also have to find them all over the place here in my phone, and we'll bring them up. Otherwise, how's life going for you, man?
Yeah, life is good, man.
Yeah.
Life is
Life
good.
is good.
Life
Looks
is
like-
good.
I don't know if many people have heard, but you're on the hunt right now, aren't you?
I am. Yes. Yeah, me and my wife, we are house hunting. We're in the middle of some negotiation talks on the offer. We haven't heard back anything, so I don't know if the selling agent fell asleep or if the couple isn't taking it seriously or something. But we will see.
We will see.
What are you wearing?
What
Who?
are you?
Who is who wearing?
Not you.
You. This guy
You-
With the
or
hat.
this
You with the
guy?
hat. You
With the hat. Ah!
This guy or this guy?
This guy.
This one?
That's you.
We can't see your screen, man.
You can't see my screen?
I'm wearing a hat. It's cold. I'm in my garage. Hi. Your background looks really faded. Is that like a setting you got going on?
I don't know what it is. I have
It
some.
looks kind of
really,
cool.
like,
You look
government
very
stuff.
angelic. You look angelic right now.
I love it.
Yeah, you really do. It's kind of cool.
It's the space shit that I got going on again. What's
What's
up?
good, man?
Is that a
Nothing.
giant LaCroix?
What? No?
Your drink, is that a giant LaCroix?
Oh, no.
Oh.
It's homework time.
Oh.
It's homework time with
Yeah,
a giant
unfortunately.
LaCroix.
No, we just got back from watching the water circus. It was badass.
The what? Is that like a?
I don't know. You know, they have like a traveling circus in the Gurney Mills parking lot.
Do they just drive around the parking lot or?
No,
They
they
shoot water?
no.
We're going to section J.
No, it's like a big tent in the middle of the parking lot, and like you get seats and stuff. And I got free tickets
Uh-huh.
from some guy at work, and it was a pretty good time. It was good.
Nice.
Some guy almost died though.
Now they were outside.
Yeah, in a tent, a heated tent, kind
A
of.
heated tent. Okay, I
It's
was
kind-
like,
Okay.
Wow.
Kind of heated. Like
I would have
think-
gone there just to see people freeze.
think like old school circus tents. Like that's what it looks like.
Okay.
Okay.
They did they did the paranormal circus before, and now they're doing this one. So
Oh, okay, gotcha.
yeah,
Very nice.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
hello,
hello.
hello.
God, this
Hello.
Oh,
Look
hey.
good.
Oh, you guys are cutting out.
how's he the
You're
only one
cutting
that?
out.
There we go.
Like that?
There it is. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's going well, man. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Is this a look of the new place?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. There's some
Sneak
of the new place there. There's a kitchen over there.
Look at that.
It's got it all.
You
Just
got everything and a kitchen. Love it.
Both important.
themed.
Well, guys, welcome to the game of the week. Very, very nice to have you here. Given the crazy amount of bye weeks that teams have, you guys seem to be coming out on top, or at least pretty close enough. And you guys have also just recently traded with one Tank Fatua not too long ago, making this a really interesting game. So,
So tired of my revenge trade games coming upon me.
Yeah, you got Marlon Mack going up.
Yeah,
against
I got-
Marlon Mack going up.
Got your old
Freaking
boy
Miami.
going up against Miami.
Freaking ridiculous.
Woo!
Like Scottsdale looked right at my schedule and was like, "Boom, there you go,
Yep,
Matt."
we're gonna dub on him.
It's all good. I got Pascal. He's a painter as well, so we're good.
Oh, nice spare time.
And his name is Zach. Totally cool.
It
You can
is
trust
Zach.
Zach.
I don't like his projected points, but Yahoo doesn't know what they're doing, so it's fine.
Yahoo has no idea.
No, they don't. They don't.
I don't think Matt
they got
has
one
any
guy.
idea.
We talked about it earlier. They got one guy that hits the button that lets all the transactions go through. And sometimes he's late, sometimes he's early. He's like he knows that he has power over thousands of people, and he will hit that button when he so chooses.
Yes. Matt, I'm very confused by your team, man. I'm very confused.
By my team?
Yeah, you're still called Gordo. What happened, man?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
the trade
no
went through
question
this
mark?
week. You got to
No
give me
question
some.
mark?
I didn't have time to mess with the punctuation.
Now,
Not
now
even
it
like
should
a
be weird.
waving.
It's
not
gotta
even
be
all-
weird. Gordo.
It all happened very quickly. So
Gordo.
before the weekend, there'll be a new team name. Don't you worry.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm very
It
excited.
might involve Mac too, just to give a little good
I will,
luck charm.
I will change mine accordingly.
Ooh, the Mac Daddies.
Oh, the Mac-
Mac Daddy's too cliche. Don't do that, Matt. Don't do it to yourself.
Oh, it's gonna be
The
original.
Big Macs.
There will be some punctuation involved too. Don't worry.
Oh,
Oh,
very
thank God.
confusing punctuation, I'm sure.
So be careful on the inflections that you guys make when you're talking about my team from here on out.
Okay.
We will
I
pay
appreciate
attention.
that. I appreciate that.
We've been trying really hard all season.
But I
It's
think
hard to keep
Geis,
up with. It's
Geis is coming back, so I might have to go back to the
back to
original
Geis?
name. He's being activated next week,
OG.
so
We'll keep an eye out for both Geis and the punctuation included. Thank you.
please do. Please do.
I love it. Do you think Matt Ryan's going to come back this week? You ready for
I'm
it?
pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's coming back this week. Whether I really want to play him or not, that's a different question. Stafford's been killing it. He's going up against the Bears, who haven't looked that great. Matt Ryan's going against the New Orleans, both on the road. So that's going to be a
Tough
game
call.
time
He loves
decision,
throwing the ball.
maybe.
I don't know. What's the weather on Sunday? Anyone know? Because it's snowing right now, which is annoying.
Cold.
And it's probably cold.
Yeah, it's going to be cold for sure.
And whether it's Detroit or Chicago, it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
Detroit is in a dome. It's okay.
I don't care. It's going to be cold. Their heater's going to go out.
They blast that AC.
They don't want anybody to attend games. They blast the AC.
All right, gentlemen. The 2 and 4 team on the year, respectively. Interesting. You guys both had different paths to getting there. Robbie, why don't we start with you, the number 2 team? What do you got? What do you got for us?
Well, what are you looking for? I could talk for days about my team and how.
Give us like the footnotes. The footnotes.
Well, it's pretty simple. I got Lamar Jackson back. I did give him a little break last week. He proved me wrong. I still ended up winning. It's okay. But going against Cincinnati, they give up about 350 yards on the ground per game. He's going to get about 325 of those because nobody likes marking him anymore anyway. So, Galladay, I hope you start Matt Stafford because then you're just going to look at points going towards Galladay every single throw.
I don't know. Marvin Jones screwed me pretty good last week. He might pick up some of those Galladay catches.
Now, for some reason, the Bears will put their best guy on Marvin Jones for some reason because they like to do that kind of shit. So I think
It's Nagy, man.
yeah. Well,
The Bears don't know what they're doing. We shouldn't
Yeah.
get started on the Bears because that's a
Let's
long
not.
conversation.
Yeah,
Well,
this is not a video about the Bears. Let's move on.
so my thoughts on Monty and no. I don't know. I think both our teams. I don't know what you got going on, but I feel like both our teams have a chance of changing before we play again. I don't know.
Oh.
Trying to
Some
slide
spoilers.
Dale's DMs again like you did. But
Yeah, there were. Me and Robbie have had a lot of trade talks this year that haven't gone through, but we've
no,
been in pretty consistent communication. So anything could happen here.
what's up? I don't
That would
know.
be kind
You
of
guys
funny.
only have a couple days left.
I know.
Polls, so if anyone wants them, everyone can have them. No, I just think.
Who?
You know who. You know who. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be pretty close. I have no idea what Kamara's gonna do at all. He hasn't been really great. I'm hoping him getting some rest and Drew Brees being back that helps a little bit. Nick Chubb has Hunt coming in. That's gonna be tough to deal.
Yeah.
But I feel like Hunt is taking over what Hillman, I think is Hilliman, his role. And when Chubb came in last year and actually had less carries, he dominated even more. So I'm thinking maybe something like that. I'm hoping Aaron Jones, breaks his tibula, and then they just go Jamal Williams all day.
Damn.
Could happen easily. He's
Or
giving me many scares this year.
I feel like like I said, we've talked that name multiple times, I think. So
Yeah,
we'll see how it
yeah.
goes. I don't wish injury on anybody unless it helps me. That's pretty much it. I
Fair.
don't know. I feel like it's going to be pretty close. I think we should be pretty even, actually, in the projections. But Zach Pascal's not getting the love he deserves for.
Well, I don't know if he deserves that much love, but
Nope. He went to Chester Rogers.
I think it's
He
gonna
should
go. They're gonna be riding Mac hard
get-
into the
that's kinda-
ground this game
I
against the
expect that.
Dolphins, especially if Brissett doesn't play. But I think he might play. Actually, it sounds like.
Brian Hoyer looked better than half the quarterbacks the Bears have. So
Well, it's not saying much, but
quarterback.
You know,
um,
is the game going to be in Miami? Do we know, or is it going to be in Indy?
I
It's in
actually don't know.
Indianapolis. It's in the dome.
Oh, it's in Indianapolis. Okay.
There you go.
Because I was about to say, if it's in Miami, Marlins love Miami, and it's just gonna be swimming.
That's true.
All right.
That's true.
High
Yeah.
five. That's a high five.
Played.
Oh.
No, yes, thank you.
No,
I dug deep for that one. But I like it. DJ's coming back too, right? He's 100%.
Yeah, I got. I'm back off buys and back off injuries, hopefully. So I got DJ back. I got Hooper back. Maybe Matt Ryan back, even though he's got that
Maybe.
tough matchup. But
I could play Matt
I'm
Ryan.
glad. What's that?
Play Matt Ryan. I'm cool with that.
Oh, are you cool with that?
Yeah, he likes to throw interceptions. So
Well, that's because he'll throw for 350 yards because they'll be down by 20 points at half. I'm fine with that.
That's fine. As long as New Orleans is
He's just
As long
like
as
Drew
you're on
Brees.
Julio Jones, no,
Hey.
no worries.
no side
he's-
talk there.
He's going to Austin.
Going to
all
Austin,
day.
strictly Austin.
Austin still performed with Matt Schaub as quarterback, so I feel pretty good with Austin Hooper. Which I think this is only his second year. I was really surprised.
Yeah,
I
he's
feel like
good
he's-
too, so.
I feel like he's been in the league for 5 years.
Yeah, what the heck?
But
He just got that name that just like, yeah, he's been here. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've heard
Old man Hooper.
Old man Hooper.
old Hoopaloop.
Oh, good old Hoopaloop. Yeah,
But yeah,
that's fine.
I think it's going to be a close game. I don't have that many great matchups, but I think I got some good running back matchups, so hopefully they can go off. And yeah, like I said, I got some guys back, so hopefully my little skid here comes to an end. But yeah, this everybody's just so close this year. It's really hard to say.
I mean, nuts.
Very close. We got when you guys listen to the episode tomorrow, we gave our third rendition of the Quarter Pounder episode, so you guys will hear where we put you guys at the end of the season. Spoilers, Matt, you may be mad at me again. So
Yeah, I've got no respect from you, Josh.
I got no respect. No respect
no
at all.
respect. No respect.
That's all right. You're probably riding high after this most recent lubeless win for you that you got.
Yeah, well, don't worry. It's still here for when I play Chet now. So, okay.
Oh, whatever.
She's got it on retainer.
It's, with Cooper Cup, oh my God, and CMC. I'm gonna put this all over the place.
You better get it in, run it under some hot water, man. You're gonna want that warm.
Oh, that's fine. That's totally cool. I mean, I was riding high for about a day and a half, and then I had to eat a habanero again. So,
Yeah, well, you screwed it up, man. That's your own fault.
yeah, I'm done. I'm done with
That's your own fault. Man.
Yeah.
I was
got the
seriously
force
contemplating giving Josh the win last week just to like really make it interesting, but
Yeah,
I just couldn't
that's
do it.
hard to do though.
I
Yeah,
couldn't
that's
do
hard to
it.
do.
Not with how it was lined up. No way.
That's fair. But we know anything can happen in fantasy football. Guys, I'm excited for your game though. This is good.
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
Also excited for Friday, Matt. Looking forward to it. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. If anybody hasn't heard, come by Friday night. I think I've texted all you guys, but yeah, be here.
Sounds good. Well, guys, thank you so much for stopping in. Thanks for sticking with us. This late again.
We can give our pick'ems real quick.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down to hear. Plenty of things to throw around here if you pick wrong.
Josh, whoever you go with, I'll take the other because we've been the
We've
same.
been matched up.
We've been the same.
What's your guys' record? I don't want to wait in here.
We're 28 out of 45, both of us.
Oh shit! Okay, nice.
Yeah, we're neck and neck. We're extending an invite to everybody here to give us like a fun little thing for the loser of the pick'ems. You know.
Yep. So somewhere in between a habanero and a Sacco punishment. So definitely not a Sacco punishment.
Not
But
a
maybe
hobby.
a step above a habanero, somewhere in between.
No hobby.
So you guys can comment or whatever, and we'll pick the one we want to do. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, for the pick'em here, I actually have Galladay in because Gordo's going to be checking out Galladay as he scores 3 touchdowns this week against Chicago. That is my bold prediction for Galladay. Yes.
I don't think that habanero's worn off yet, Josh. You seem a little delirious.
This one was extra more enjoyable this week. The technique that Josh used was a little bit off, so you're definitely gonna want to watch the video.
Oh, I'll be watching.
Right when I wake up. Don't worry.
There you go.
I will actually give Robbie the win just so that we differ and can get some separation on the pick'ems.
Oh, thanks for not
Things.
actually doing a different pick.
You guys both gave Robbie the win just now.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt. I mean,
What?
I'm picking Eric to win. I'm picking Eric to win this game.
Wait,
Picking Eric to win this game.
Eric, Matt, or Robbie? I'm confused.
I'm picking
Eric's gonna come
Gordo.
in.
I am picking
it's okay. I'm picking Eric to
Gordo.
win as well. So
Gordo will win this game.
I have zero confidence.
You
in
want to know
that
what throws
pick.
me
Yeah,
off?
I
It's
feel
because
like you
Eric
didn't
is still named
that.
Matt, and so when I have Matt in my head, I also have Eric in my head.
See,
But you
this
didn't
is
even
his
say either one of that
long-term game is
except me.
working.
It's been.
That was because I was
You got
looking
me
at
a few
you.
weeks
Okay.
I'll take that too. I'll take both those picks. That's what I heard.
You'll take Eric and you winning the game. Okay, I got you. All right.
That's fine. Who's Eric's playing anyway? I'll take it.
All right, sounds good. Well, guys,
Eric is playing Lyjack.
Oh yeah, I'll take that.
yeah. Any
I'll have
habanero
it
bets on that one?
I'll do it. I'll do 2 of them.
Jesus.
2 if he doesn't win.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well then.
you can call me up. I'll be on. Actually, I won't be. Crap. Never mind. Whatever, still take the bet. I'll do it anyway. I'll do
No,
it
don't
separately.
take it. I swear to God, don't take it. It's not what
Okay,
you want.
I
I'm done with
handle
habanero.
peppers. I don't know what you're doing with your life, but
Okay. I'm eating peppers. That seems to be a hobby of mine. I don't know.
It's a habanero.
I got it.
the exit button.
Good.
Jesus.
And then we have Robinero, the habanero over there wanting to eat too.
Do them at the same time.
Yeah.
And the other one in this game, Eric. All right, guys.
Somehow Yahoo's gonna mix up the matchups, and Eric's gonna end up winning somehow.
It might help your pick'ems. I don't know. Jesus. All right, I'm out of here. All right, guys.
Have a great night.
For everyone.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Bye.
Oh, man, that was funny. Oh, you got me. You got me good, Louis. That was some good stuff. I picked Galladay in for the win, and you have
Eric winning.
Eric winning this game. He'll get an extra couple wins on the book here this week. That's good. That's good. So Gordo, the formerly named Gordo, is going to be for Louis. All right, that's the game we're going to differ on. We'll see how this one goes. Anything else you got? You might want to add here today, good sir.
Nothing I got. We covered it well.
Yeah, we really did. This was a great week here. I wish Lyjack, maybe we could try this again next week if you're at home and now.
Yeah, let's do it next week. We got the trade deadline. We can see some things go through, so we'll bring him on next week to finish it off.
I'm sure that Matt and Robbie, we're not the only ones deep in discussion here about trades. I'm sure everybody's been back and forth with trade talks. Yeah. So
I will spoiler alert some things. Lyjack is in the works of putting together some awesome stat lines that we'll see in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for those. A lot of interesting stuff coming up, stuff that Josh and I didn't even think about, and we like it. So yeah, if any of you guys have any input or anything that you want to see or us talk about, just let us know, and we'll.
I think we got a couple of weeks coming up here. The first week of the playoffs, we only have one match? Only one match.
It's two. I think it'll be two.
I don't think the Sacco tournament starts.
It doesn't start. It'll be two. It'll be the 3, 4, 5, 6 seeds playing.
That's right. So in a couple of weeks we'll have both week 14 and week 16. The championship week will be down.
Oh, that'll be fun to actually pick a loser and not a winner. That'll be
We'll actually pick. We'll have our take on the championship winner, and we'll have our take on who's going to win the Sacco. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, we got a lot of fun things in store.
Well, we'll have some extra time in the upcoming weeks. Give us your ideas. I mean, Lyjack, again, thank you so much for some of these ideas. We'll have some very exciting stuff coming your guys' way in a few weeks. Get your trades done before Saturday. I don't know when the cutoff is, if it's early in the morning, midday, or night. But we only got a couple of days left, guys. So keep them coming. Have fun. As always, Week 10 is going to be in the books very soon. As always, go sports, guys.
Go sports. Well said.
I'm in love with Stacey's mom has got it going on. Stacey's mom has got